Well, in a way, no. It feels very, very accurate and very honest in terms of the times we're living in. And the script was absolutely wonderful. Aki Kaurismäki is such a wonderful writer. So all the clues the character was in the script, they were in the script, and I just had to learn to read it very carefully, and I would know everything I needed. And then it was wonderful to meet Jussi Vatanen, with whom I haven't acted before, because we had a very nice contact right off from the start, so it was fairly easy, actually. One thing that was difficult was that Aki told us not to rehearse, and I'm quite a nerd, so I needed to do something with my somehow anticipation and I guess nervousness. So I rewatched all Aki's films to try to get in contact with his universe, and it felt like I wanted to be in contact or connection with the other roles, not to copy what people have done before, but to find this kind of connection. And then I went to work at the places where Ansa is working. So I went to a bar and to the supermarkets and to the factory to get her life into my system. She's a very strong, independent woman, and even though she's very poor and she's struggling in many ways in life, she still has this sense of pride and a straight spine, and she's very loyal to the ones she chooses to have in her life. But she's also very, very lonely and very shy, and this is a problem for her. Well, in that moment, her heart breaks when she says to him that I like you, but I won't have a drunk, and she doesn't repeat her family's history. Actually, to become codependent on someone, she kind of suggests that you go and fix your problem, but I'm not gonna fix it for you. And this is quite a modern approach to something that is a very common trap when you love someone and you want to perhaps save them, and then you go down with their problem. But she doesn't do that, and she has this very subtle way of being very strong. I was very humble and honored to get to be a part of it, because I've been watching his movies my whole life and I've loved them. I've been fascinated. It's fascinating to follow how he builds this kind of universe with all these elements of music and aesthetics, and also acting, mixing amateur actors with professional actors, and having these very clear lines. Everything is so exact, the way they speak, the way they somehow behave, the way the frames are like paintings. It exists in a time that mixes all these times. It could be the 50s, but it could be next year. Then there is an adventure to his stories that you never know what's going to happen next somehow. I think this is something very typical of Finland. It's a Finnish trait, this silence. We don't become awkward when there is silence. It's actually something we seek. And when you found someone, it can be a friend or a lover or someone that you can share a silence with, then you're all good. And as you said, there is a lot going on in the silence. It doesn't mean that there's no communication. There are just not words, but there's a lot of things going on between people. Well, I guess it's fate, because the name of the dog is Alma, just as me, so we're kind of sisters in a way. And she is an extraordinary talent, I have to say. She's got a wonderful sense of rhythm, and she was making these strong, independent artistic choices in the scenes that we were just quite blown away by her performance. And this was the first time she was in front of the camera, so it's a very strong debut. Mm-hmm. And well, we had a great time just getting to know each other and playing around. She's Aki's own dog. She's a stray dog from Portugal that he took in. So she's a wonderful, disciplined actress, I have to say. It's getting more and more diverse, which is wonderful. there are lots of different kinds of filmmakers from different ages, cultural backgrounds, sexes. So yeah, that's something I really appreciate. And Aki Kaurismäki, he's a true author. He's been doing films in Europe now for 40 years. And he's got his very unique style and a very unique voice. No one else can make a film like Aki Kaurismäki, and that's wonderful.